Welcome to 2025 Ordinary Voices session, and that's the first session of the year for January. Let me introduce you to the Ordinary Voices. It plays a crucial role in shaping community dynamics as well as coming up with meaningful engagements with individuals and communities. We empower the marginalized individuals to participate in decision-making processes. We also enhance social equity and accountability between communities and organizations. I will let Peter take us through GYF and Ordinary Voices.
Millicent, I'm just trying to turn my camera on, and I think I'm on here trying to think how things are going to work. But technology can be really tricky, if you see what I mean. So let me let me just see how lives look like in here. I can see Irfan over there. But first, before I talk to you about Global Youth Forum, let me bring the guests to just say hello to us really quick. Irfan, dive right in. Tell us who you are and probably just wave at people. I know Millicent will be introducing you shortly. Irfan, go for it.
Thank you so much, Peter. Hello, everybody. My name is Irfan Mohammed, and I'm a sports enthusiast. Currently, I'm in the shipping industry, working at Emirates Logistics. But the reason why I'm here is to promote sport and how we could make a difference in the world through the world of sport. I am initially, I'm from Mombasa. I've grown and been brought up there, and then moved permanently, relocated to Nairobi last year. I handle my own football academy, which trains and educates and mentors young kids. It's in its 10th year. We call it Elite Football Coaching. It's in its 10th year in Mombasa. And we've just this month launched it with baby steps in Nairobi. So, I look forward to interacting with all of you, and it'll be good knowledge to share, I believe. And to all the sports enthusiasts, I think we can, we might not know the weapon we have in our hand, but sports and just generating that dialogue and that opportunity through sport goes a long way in mentoring and leading our youth. So yeah, look forward to this interactive session.
There we go. Now you know Irfan, who I happen to have met several years ago. So thanks, Irfan, for joining us today. So lovely to see you. And I know your segment will come and we will be diving more in. So a little bit about Global Youth Forum. Today is much of a really exciting element that we do want to share, and we do want to get guests to dive more in to share a bit about their stories, their good practices, and what they've been doing to use football as a tool to champion some good in the community. A bit about Global Youth Forum, as always, our aim is to empower young people with skills, help them get a job or create a job. And our mission is to work with them, purely to co-create solutions to solve community problems and probably make us thrive. So in a nutshell, that is purely what we do, but we do have three key elements or three key programs. One being Molding for Work. I see Alvin, who is a member of Molding for Work. And then we always have Ordinary Voices, the one that is hosting us today. And then the Sports for SDGs, where we do Archery for the Goals and Football for Peace. And purely that breaks down what we aim to achieve and what we do together. So with that, I see Silvanus is also joining us. So more about Global Youth Forum, my friends, I know we can find a space in another corner and talk about that. But let me again welcome Silvanus Ndumbi to just say wave at us, because I know his segment is also coming to address something before I bring Millicent back to us. But purely that's about Global Youth Forum. So Ndumbi, dive right in. Where are you tuning in from?
I'm tuning in from Wajir, and I'm glad I'm enjoying every bit of it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, there we go. Do you have an academy in Wajir, or what are you doing in Wajir?
Yes, I have Wajir Queens. It's a football club, basically to mentor the girls. We are using now the football club to take girls back to school and also provide them other portfolios for their career, for their life, for their education, and it's doing very good job.
There we go. I was introduced to Ndumbi
Team
by
for
carry
female
on.
soccer or female football. Yes, this is Ndubi Mazrui. The email I'm having the email is the one that is showing Silvanus.
Oh, okay. All right. So there we go. So now
Yes.
I'll bring it back to Millicent to introduce us to the topic and how we got here. So Millicent, back to you again. Thank you, guest, for joining us today. Unmute Millicent if you like.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Peter, for the introduction. The topic of today is quality education for economic growth through sports. Quality education and sports are deeply interconnected, with sports serving as a dynamic tool to promote learning, life skills, and economic growth. A study done in Kenya examined the implications of the designing sports as an academic and career pathway in the competence-based curriculum. And here, I don't know if it is a joke, but you can take your time, think about it, and write your answer on the chat. And maybe my question is, why did the student a ladder to the sports class? I will repeat again. Why did the student bring a ladder to the sports class? Maybe I will also write in the chat. Feel free to answer that.
So in this case, who is going first? Millicent, just to capture that correctly, Irfan, Millicent is asking, did a student bring a ladder to a class, or is that the question, Millicent?
Yeah, like why?
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Let's hear what Irfan have to say then.
Probably to look at opportunities, right? Because the higher you are, the better you see, right?
Okay, good one. Silvanus, what do you have to say then? Why did students bring the ladder?
The ladder.
Yeah.
I didn't get the question clearly. Unless Omondi kindly come through it again.
So you have students in a class, and then one just pops up with a ladder. Why? Irfan says
good.
maybe to see opportunities. So what will you say?
Yeah, the student came with a ladder because the student wants to go up, and it is through the teaching or the class that the learner will be able to go up. So the ladder is there for the teacher to use it so that that child can go up.
Okay. I've added Alvin on here, Millicent, to here because Alvin looks like a student. Alvin, why did you bring the ladder to a classroom? Unmute, Alvin.
Hello, guys. Hello, Peter. So I might have brought a ladder because maybe to like create a challenge or obstacle or a climbing activity, something of the sort.
Oh, okay. I don't know. This is interesting, Millicent. I'm glad you brought this up. Let me hear from Godwin. Godwin, unmute and tell us, why did you bring the ladder to our classroom? And then Millicent, we chime right into it now. Millicent, Godwin, what do you have to say? Okay. Millicent, again, back to you. Let's chime right in. I think that's a challenging one. I will go and start thinking around that later, but thank you for bringing that up.
Okay. I hope you can hear me, but I am
No, Millicent, carry on. Just carry on. Godwin will come back to you later. Your time is gone.
Okay, I
Yeah.
will just go directly to the questions of the day, whereby the guest will have an opportunity to engage. And I will start with Ifan. Like, introduce yourself, like who you are, which SDG do you support, and the change you want to see in the world, and the sport that you admire or a sport that you really, really like.
Yeah, thank you, Millicent. Once again, I mean, my name is Irfan. I'm from Kenya. I work within the shipping industry right now, and I also run a football academy in Mombasa and in Nairobi. The sport I am most passionate about is football, and I feel that it's probably the easiest sport to play, and it brings in quite a lot of people naturally. The goal that I'm very keen on is goal number one, which is got to do with poverty. I think poverty brings a lot of desperation within a human being, not being able to meet your requirements for yourselves and for your family, because your family is reliant on you. Makes you think quite wide and quite desperately, and sometimes that desperation leads to a lot of unwanted stuff. So I mean, my goal would be to, if you are me to make it happen, then give everybody an equal chance. Right now we're talking about sport, so in sport, give everybody a chance, and they those who merit being selected for certain opportunities will rise to the challenge, will work hard, and at the end of the day, we'll create equilibrium, we'll create an equal opportunity where poverty can be drastically addressed, and everybody will tend to live a happy life.
Thank you so much. I will ask the same question to Ndubi Mazrui. Tell us who you are, the SDG of your choice, the change you want to see in the world, and the sports that you really, really like.
Thank you so much. My name is Ndubi Mazrui. I think now I've changed the name that appears. I'm the founder and the founder of Wajir Queens. It's Wajir. It's a pioneer team in Northeastern Province where we don't practice female soccer. And my main goal is quality education. Considering a place like Wajir, whereby marginalization and to be sincere, in Northeastern Province, we are a bit like some years behind the normal curriculum. Education is the greatest equalizer, and if everyone can access quality education, it will be good. Now, what do I mean by quality education? We talk about self-esteem. We talk about how sports can improve self-esteem. When the self-esteem of that child in football, when she realizes that she can be able to score a goal, that self-esteem can be applied in class, so that she'll have the confidence to go and ask a question. She'll have the confidence to have the determination that I can be able to pass my exams and all those kind of things. Secondly, the same quality education, you're talking about the physical health. Physical health, that for you to study very well, you have to be physically healthy, such that your mind is fresh. You can play and come back and get a shower and come and read when your mind is very fresh. But just doing education without some play, it doesn't bring the fun of it. And third, which is the last one, on the same quality education, on how it has a very big significance to even sports to the quality education, is the relevance. As a teacher, personally, I teach math and chemistry. We are forcing a lot of Pythagoras theorem and a lot of mole concept to kids who their work is supposed to play football.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I can see that Abdi Hafid Ismail has joined the meeting, and I will just want you to answer the question who you are, the SDG of your choice, the change you want to see in the world, and the sport that you admire or the sport that you really, really like.
Right. As Abdi Hafid prepares really, really quick there. Let me jump on Millicent and dive on to the next one, if you see what I mean. But Millicent, really, really good introduction there. And Irfan, I love that part of you being passionate about SDG 1, no poverty, and how that can be, how that can impact communities. So I'm just looking at the data and the report for the Sustainable Development Goals. Irfan, now, if you look at Mombasa or you look at Nairobi and you look at the slums in Kenya, poverty is on the rise. And people are doing all sorts of things around the globe. And people are still going into this poverty. We still have people living in slums. People are still having a lot of challenges. And they are suffering. Even the government is putting a lot of money on things to address this poverty. Why do you think we are not finding the solid solution to end poverty, probably in Kenya, East Africa, and probably entire world? What is the problem? What are top reasons why the poverty is on the rise? Let us start with that for now. And then you can chime in and tell us how sports can be used to address this particular challenge and probably help us find a long-term solution towards ending poverty. Irfan, to you now.
I think, Peter, when you talk of poverty as a whole, and with regards to Kenya, I think number one, corruption plays a big role, right? And you don't need to really talk about it, because I mean every headline points towards that. Even on a Sunday, on your dailies, it's all about corruption and leadership and all. But I mean, look, the people around this forum are interested in sports, right? And could use sports. I mean, we've got Dubi, who is in Northeastern, who is trying to work around a marginalized community and is promoting sports amongst the girls, right? Something that probably would not have been done, and is currently probably not been done. So you see, if we promote the likes of Dubi, I mean, there should be so many other people willing to work with such marginalized communities. It's all about us giving them the opportunity. What can we do as individuals, as established probably entities, right? As sponsors, as donors, as past sportsmen and women, what can we do to just push the agenda forward? I'm sure if a former football player, a former Kenya football player comes in and tells Ndubi that, look, I want to partner with you, I'll bring in the resources, bring in my expertise, then you can imagine 2-3 years down the line where he can reach with his academy. But people seeing this happen around them will note a difference, right? From the participants at the academy to the parents to the siblings. I mean, guys who are probably not too fussed about football and don't really know what's going on, just by looking at the entire discipline that it creates, would want to pay attention, right? So I think it's all to do with us putting in the resources, right, and having the right people with the right passion to make a difference. I mean, if Ndubi can do it, he is sacrificed going to Northeastern, then and he's happy about it. He's passionately talking about the marginalized society there and what he's done to make a difference. And I think that is a start, and it can go a long way to help alleviate all these issues that we have.
Okay. Very insightful, and this one will stand out. And I know guys joining us, if you are on Facebook, do put your comments over there, and we will ensure we pick them. But Irfan, corruption is a really good one. Let me bring now Ndumbi to also, we can hear his thoughts. Ndumbi, I know you are passionate about an SDG. You might just want to remind us which SDG it is, and then you can tell us why that SDG is not being achieved, and how can sport then be used to help achieve that goal. Now, dive right in. So you start by reminding the guests or people joining us or who will watch your favorite SDG, because I might lie, but I don't want to. Maybe you are in education or no poverty or anywhere, but remind them about your SDG and tell them why it is not achieving that, and then tell us how sport can be used to address that particular SDG.
Yeah, the SDG is quality education, and it is standing out clearly because I wish you would have traveled to places like Turkana or like Northeastern where I am. The education, how the laboratory are facilitated, everything. We have been having mass exodus of teachers from Wajir, from Mandera, from Garissa, going back to the other parts of the country because of insecurity. So what does that mean? It means Northeastern is not getting the
Did we lose Ndumbi?
I think he's having a connection issue. Even the last time he paused and then came back. Yeah, he's back now.
Yeah, carry on.
Yes,
Ndumbi.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes. So we don't have quality education in Northeastern. Now, what is the evidence? The evidence is the mass exodus of teachers. The evidence is the retention period of the students, the learners that we produce, and how they're going to pursue different courses. And also the facilitation that is there from Northeastern. Now, how can sports promote this? I studied in Western, where a school will do very well in sports. Sorry, am I live?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you. Carry on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So if we have Mumias, like when I went to school in Mumias performs very well in rugby. Then immediately there are some companies that bringing the school bus, they're coming to build a class, they're coming to do that. Now, if we can bring players from Northeastern to start playing for international clubs, the national team, then after that, the whole country or the whole world will start looking at Northeastern, and a lot of resources that will promote quality education will start to come. And also in the same quality education, why should we teach the same concept a footballer with the same concept that we are teaching an engineer? It doesn't work. So if we can develop in that, and that is the main goal in the SDG that I'm looking for, the relevance of the education vis-a-vis the learner, so that every learner can get that quality education and every learner can get the relevant education that they want to pursue. Back to you, Omondi.
Very interesting, and we can just see how marginalized communities can be challenged, linking to what Irfan have stated, the lack of resources and people coming to support that. Really points a picture on how sports can be used and how communities can be empowered to diversify the learning system. Let me now go again to Wajir. I'm now building a camp in Wajir to bring up the Hafid to also talk to us who you are, your SDG, and probably why that your SDG. You seem to be two teachers in the house, to be honest, so I don't know if you guys know each other. But the two teachers tell us why your SDGs is not on track and how can sport be used to bring them back on track. Abdi Hafid, go for it.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I joined a little bit late because I was away for prayer. I think Mazrui is my good friend. We are neighbors. At the same time, we have interacted a lot, and he's doing amazing work, especially with the female team. I think my name is Abdihafid Ismail. I'm from Wajir. I'm a teacher by profession, and my SDG is decent work and economic growth. I think generally the challenge that we normally face with this, the NGOs or the companies or the organizations that are targeting, especially or that are supposed to do the decent work or to give the opportunity, the economic opportunity, are totally failing. For example, like if an NGO comes with a goodwill in order to promote maybe the small businesses in Wajir or in Nordistan or in Kenya in general, they definitely face a challenge, especially when they appoint volunteers to go and do research on the small business. When the volunteers are given a chance to collect the data of small business, they end up collecting the data of their friends so that they can end up maybe sharing the little resources that the NGO provided. The only way maybe you can cap that one is the NGO now to go deeper into the system, into the community, to do and maybe give the money or the grant that they are supposed to give to the right business. Small businesses mostly are losing hope because of that. When, for example, like me, pardon, are you hearing me?
Yeah, keep going.
Yes. So generally, most of the NGOs are not reaching or are not achieving this SDG because generally the volunteers are not totally sincere. The workers themselves even are not totally sincere. The people who are supposed to achieve this objective are not even doing much to achieve this objective. So how we can use soccer, for example, to improve this? One is to bring the service of the big NGOs closer to the people. One, by providing tournaments. If maybe we give a chance, if let's say the football scouts who are supposed maybe to look for good players around the country, if they come closer to Wajir, to Mandera, to Garissa, and give opportunities to some players in Wajir, then definitely that one will create also at least a decent job for those people who will earn from football. The same way, it will give also a hope to others who are growing, who will see that at least a friend of mine who has maybe become a player in Kenya Premier League, who played for Harambee Stars, then I can still achieve the same. So everyone at least will have a hope. But now, if Nordistan are left out, the way Mazrui said earlier, we are not given the chance. The organizations or the NGOs or the companies in Wajir don't totally invest in sport. You can see maybe a place in like Wajir or the whole of Nordistan, we have only one female team. Mazrui did an amazing work by coming up with that idea. He helped them maybe going through also mental health, maybe activities and other issues, because a lot of girls are facing mental challenges. They are not maybe they are not given enough time, enough opportunities to achieve their dream. Once they finish the school, they end up getting married, or they end up maybe go and study a course that maybe they have never dreamt of. So generally, the best way, first of all, is to sensitize the organizations in Nordistan so that they can at least sponsor football team. They can give opportunities to soccer players. They can give them a job, a decent job, and everything. That one at least will do and improve something. Yeah.
I think that is interesting. I didn't know that people make up this data. Millicent, that opened my eyes. Like, people come and collect data from friends, and then they mess around with this data, and then they just cause chaos. And then you bring with what Irfan talked about in terms of corruption, lack of discipline, and just lacking the right people in the right places, doing the right things, can be really, really chaotic. So Millicent, I bring you to the next segment so you can chime more in.
Okay, thank you so much. I will go to question number 3, and I will start with Ndubi Mazrui. I can see that you are supporting quality education, and maybe a company X comes to you, and the company also deals with the same SDG you are supporting, and you are being told to give the best practices you have seen in the world, and maybe in which way would you advise them so that they can also succeed?
First, already there are some things that we are doing on the same education. Just to mention, I've got this school called Nyakach Girls. I know you're aware of it. They have one of my players whom they picked, and now they are supporting, and they are giving her full scholarship because of her talent. I've got like 6 girls also in the local schools who don't pay school fees. They are supported, and we have the other ones that we are supporting partly. So already we have some philanthropies, not companies, and we have other big institutions in terms of education who are doing that, so that these girls now can be able to get a platform where they can proceed. Now, if a company approaches me and they want to achieve the same quality education, depending on what they are ready to offer, I will be able to guide them in terms of scholarship, in terms of ensuring that this girl, she's in school, her school fees is paid for, and she's also able to get her what we call basic amenities, because it is not just about, when you talk about quality education, it's not just about education per se, but it is also about food. It is also about the social amenities, which I understand now, the ones that girl child faces. It is also about capacity.
Okay, I think Ndubi is having some internet issues. I will ask the same question to Abdi Hafid. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah, thank you. For me, I think if I would have advised an organization to work on maybe decent work and economic growth, I think I will invite them, first of all, to hold a tournament so that they can identify the best team to sponsor. Then they should also target those teams with sustainable ideas. There are teams maybe that have a small businesses whereby now the players are doing work, but maybe they don't have enough fund to progress in their project. So I would advise them to invest in that project. Maybe they get back their share later, and also at the same time, players can earn a decent from that project. The same way, I will also advise maybe big organizations like UNICEF to start a similar project that they had in 2010 to 2013. I was part of that kind of a project where they were getting best players around the region in one school. Then over the whole day, they are all trained on different skills, football, volleyball. And then at the same time, also they are given a small stipends for maybe for their art. And then there's an AGM every year whereby they meet at Nairobi. They are given at least a very good stipend, a very good training skills on how to improve their life. So basically, that's the advice that I would have give to any good organization that's ready to support the SDG of decent work and economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the amazing points. I will also ask the same question to Ifan. If you are ready, you can go to it.
Yeah, Millicent, sorry, I had a power outage. I was out for about 5 minutes. So I'm just trying to manage with the connection. Well, thankfully. Okay, if you could please repeat the question.
Okay, the question was, if you were to advise an organization or a company which is working to address the SDG you are supporting on the best practices you have seen in the world, in which way would you advise them so that they can also succeed?
Okay, I'm also a cricket fan, so I do follow a lot of cricket. I do play cricket time and again. So about in India, right? They had launched their internal league, which they call the Indian Premier League. I don't know if some of you have had the privilege of watching it or following it. But since the start of the Indian Premier League, right? So what they did is just to develop the Indian national team and of course sport throughout the entire country. They brought in their own national league, which focuses on developing local talent. They are allowed each team, so there is like franchise teams, and each team is allowed a certain number of foreign players, right? So it's capped to four foreign players, and the rest must be local Indian talent. So over a period of about, I think it's hitting about 20 right now, 15 odd years, they've managed to win the World Cup. They've managed to create employment. They've managed to broadcast India to the entire world. They've managed to monetize the entire league in such a way that everybody is now fighting for rights of sponsorship, rights of participation, and it has developed the local community, right? So everywhere, so it's a yearly thing. It's an annual season. It takes place every year, and the benefits over a long term have been open for everybody to see. I mean, that's obviously at a very large scale, but something similar could happen within African, South American countries, African countries, where there's a lot of talent to develop, but they need a lot of big corporates to come on board. Obviously, we need to make sure that our own budgets are aligned towards promoting such, and you'll probably not see results in the next 2, 3, 4 years, but talk of 10, 15, 20 years down the line, and the development that will come with all the infrastructure that's there, people wanting to see their kids or their siblings on TV, on national TV, on international TV, that promotes interest, right? That pushes a lot of interest coming in. So if I were to look at such and use it to replicate it, even in a small way, but you can imagine the sponsors coming in, their promotion, promotion of their own products, the entity itself. I think that would go a long way, replicating such for the foreseeable future. I think Africa, Kenya, as local, and then Africa at large, has got a lot of untapped potential and talent. If we take development to the grassroots, I think that's going to go a long way in making sure that we get the champions that we deserve.
Now, I'm chiming in because you guys have really, really good things. Millicent, again, really good one there. Talking about partnering, and I hear Ndumbi talking about people getting sponsorship, getting right sponsorship to go to school and to study. Irfan is talking about going to the grassroots, okay? Going to the grassroots and getting really good people to like champion this agenda for sports. And Abdi Hafid talking to us about supporting these people through, say, the stipend and the other big NGOs coming along and getting closer to communities. Now, you sit in the position of the president in your country now, okay? Now, we will be calling you President Irfan, President Abdi Hafid, and President Mazrui. And you've been tasked to come up with one policy that will ensure that sports is used as a tool to achieve the sustainable development goals, ensuring that no one is left behind. Godwin will be telling me, oh, I'm in the village, or I am always left behind. Alvin will be crying, Charity will be crying. What one policy will you come up with as a president of your country? I will start with, let me go with Mazrui. Mazrui, President Mazrui, tell us what you will do. What one policy will come up with?
I was waiting.
Internet there seems to be very tricky, but we'll come back to that. Mazrui, if you hold on there when back, just give me a shout out. Abdi, President Abdi, what policy will you come up with?
The whole country. The military were able to carry my girls all the way from Wajir when we had floods, when we had what, and my girls were able to play in Kasarani Stadium, Nyayo Stadium, and Utalii Stadium. Those are international stadiums. These girls who in Wajir and Northeastern, we don't have any stadium that has grass in the field, but it is sand, and they're able to get that. Simple. Start from grassroots as it develops up to the national level. And that one will be able to use sports to bring people up. Then we have minimum grade like even D, that if you get this D, we are going to support you to any other university to support you to do what, and then after that, the sports will work. So if there is any policy that President Mazrui will come up with, it is simple. Talanta Hela from Mashinani, from grassroots level, and it will work. For every game you play, for every achievement you do, you get some money. Simple. 14-year-old girl will know that I can earn, and it worked for me. I'll be able to take back 6 girls back to school because of just small thing that it is not working.
There we go. People are playing in sand, but people are being supported to get education and qualification. So getting people to earn through their talents. Thanks, President Mazrui. President Abdi Hafid, what will you say? You may unmute if you like, Abdi.
Sorry. I think for me, the policy that I will introduce in my county as a president is that I will give sensitization to the organizations and companies in my county. For example, I will invite almost around, let's say, 20 teams from the county, and each team will go come with an idea where now they will be supported by a different organization that is interested in their project. If, let's say, for example, like one team come up with an idea of industry, then I will look for an organization or a company that can invest in that industry so that they can also get their return. Then that's a continuous project. And then through sport now, the 20 teams will go into play something like Premier League continuity, whereby now the players can work maybe from morning until evening. Then in the evening, they go to training, they play their soccer. During the games, when they have a game, maybe they take a break from the work, they play their games, something like that. And still, they are playing and enjoying football, while at the same time, they are working and earning also from their same team. So my policy will be now introducing and giving the companies the opportunity to advertise themselves through these teams. Well, when you look at Kenya Premier League, when you look at English Premier League, you're going to see that their jerseys, there are company names that are written. Those names means these are the companies that are sponsoring maybe the part of a t-shirt. At the same time, when a fan read that name, then the fan will go into do a research about that company. If the company is maybe, let's say, Chevrolet and selling cars, then the person or the fan who has seen that name will go and do research about that company, will end up even going to buy a car from that company just because it is sponsoring a team that he supports. So I will also introduce that kind of an ideology whereby now the companies can advertise themselves through the teams, because when I used to play soccer when I was in school, our coaches used to tell us, hello.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. Football is just like a religion. I think it has more fans than any religion in the world or any other sport. So when somebody wear a jersey, maybe that has a particular name of a company, the fans who will go in to see that name of the company will do more research about the company. Then they end up going to look for a service from that company just because the company has sponsored a team that they support. So maybe my policy will be now where I will bring in the companies to sponsor the team and at the same time they advertise their services. Thank you.
Very insightful. I'll come back to that, President Abdi Hafid. But the point you bring, it's much of empowering these communities to be able to get advertisers and corporate to support them. President Irfan, what do you have to say? What will be your policy?
I think Mwalimu Mazrui mentioned one very important part. It's to do with grassroots development. You know, and I'd like to add weight to it, because like you look at our athletes right now, whenever they go to the Olympics and win a big chunk of, you know, prize money and all the goals and achievements to bring in. I think if that goes back in terms of now, that if Mombasa County is supposed to produce a winner, right? Then the government, if, for example, if the money that they win per gold medal from the International Olympic Federation and all, for example, if you win $10,000 per gold, okay, 7,000 per silver and 5,000 per bronze, then if the government would put in that equivalent into grassroots for that community where that winner has come from, right? So if somebody is from Mombasa County and they've won 3 golds, then $30,000 from the government goes into development at grassroots level, right? That would obviously promote the local community, the local village, and also promote a lot of, push a lot of these youngsters to be a part of it, because even the parents then would be more than willing to push their kids, because they can see the development around their place, around the local community. You know, right now, there's a lot of rural Kenya, which, where, again, classic example where Mazrui is, you know, these guys, they're lacking a lot of resources. They've been neglected, you know. So how can we put them back on the map? It's by giving back and, you know, making sure that whatever they win on international, national level, if the government can bring back that equivalent and push it, pump it into the grassroots level, then I think there'll really be a lot of motivation. Secondly, I feel that if there was affordable financing, you know, in building these academies, getting all the housing, getting all the infrastructure in, where the government would support or, you know, waive off certain taxes and all, I think it'll go a long way in making sure that the infrastructure around sport at grassroots level is not done at a very high cost, because, you know, the government would absorb some of it, and at the end of the day, long term, it's the same people who are going to bring Kenya a lot of gold medals in you know, awards and achievements in their respective sports. So I think those would be my main policies that I would bring in.
I know Millicent is preparing something for us, but you guys, let me call you again, Mr. President. From introducing the affordable financing to help advance the infrastructure in sports, to matching the athletes awards from the international stage, and then bringing that back to community, bringing the big organization closer to the grassroots level, matching that and bringing it quality education and just accepting people how they are and getting them move up. You guys have nailed that. So with that then, I know, Millicent, you got something from maybe our audience in the house, or what's next there?
Okay, now I will let the audience ask some questions. Yeah.
So in that case, we can just say, Alvin, we had Irfan as a guest. Godwin, we had Irfan as a guest. We had Abdi Hafid, and then we had Mazrui. All these people are in the industry. In fact, Irfan can give you a job. Abdi Hafid can link you to a school. Alvin, Ndumbi can train you and being a coach. So do you have any question for them on behalf of other people who would not have made it to this gathering? Would you have any question for them in terms of what they've been doing with the academy, their SDGs, and all the work they've been doing that they can respond to? Please dive right in.
So hello guys, thank you again for this opportunity. So let me just introduce myself. I'm Alvin Nderitu. I'm a student pursuing international studies, and I love football. I've actually traveled to Juja, to Rongai just for football. I'm also starting because it's an inspiration to see people forming their football academies and seeing people grow through those academies. I'm also lead here at my local church. We are building a football academy so for the kids to play and to grow spiritually. So football has been a big journey. It has been a big part of my journey in life. So what my question is, how do you ensure that people get equal opportunities? Because there are those who are not able to reach those levels, there are those who are not able to get these opportunities to actually join a football academy. So do you go like to streets, to like homes and ask for players or something? Because there are so many people out there who 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 haven't come to the realization that they can use their talent to eradicate poverty at their home. So they run to drugs, to other funny stuff. So how do you pull guys to like join your football academies so that they can grow?
Irfan, do you want to give that a go, and then Dumbi, you give that a go as well? Good question there, Alvin. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Alvin. So these two sort of academies, right? These academies that develop talent. For example, if your local football club playing in the league would have their own academy running from your under nines, under 14s, their main intention would be to bring in players for continuity, right? So 10 years down the line, somebody playing in the under nine now would be able to represent the club, right? And there is a certain process, a certain system that they're trained on, and they scout all over the country for talented youngsters. They probably provide transport from their home for training, probably even maybe pay for some of their fees or extracurricular. Then there is the recreational academy, right? And that pretty much is giving an opportunity to kids, to youngsters, right, to stay away from probably the TV, right? All these gadgets that are there right now. So if it's a Saturday at 3 o'clock up to 5 o'clock, right? Instead of your kids sitting in front of the screen, they're out there playing, right? And like in Nairobi, there is a lot of academies all around Nairobi. Okay, I mean it's just about you advertising. Maybe you can probably say that for the first month, maybe a snack would be provided, right? Or transport, you'll arrange for transport. You know what these kids want, right? Or maybe if you get a sponsor on board, then for the first month, anybody who registers would have their own kit. Okay, and you have a friend maybe who can just sponsor like maybe 20 kids with their logos at the top, and you're saying it's for a church. So you can imagine that talk, after an exciting month of football, the talk in church would be who's looking forward to next month. So a parent would talk to another parent, would talk to somebody at work, would talk to somebody in the socials, and news would spread. And probably in the third or fourth month, you'll need to look for a bigger facility to train the kids. And rightly so, sponsors would come in. But I think there's a bait. You need to make sure that you talk to the parents to make sure that they avail their kids, and then it's up to you, the program that you come up with. How interesting is it? Are the kids having fun? You'd get a mixture of people. You get people who would not even know what they're doing, but that's just a start. I mean, all of us were unknowns at some time, right? And when you pursue something religiously, that's when you get to where you want to get to. So I think that those would be my main ways of bringing people on board. And I'm sure out there is a lot of corporates, who even through their corporate social responsibility programs would be more than happy to sponsor you, for your kids, for your transport, and you just have their names on their kits, or on the giveaways, that the goodies that you give them. And I think that'll be more than good for a start for you. I wish you all the very best.
All right. I think let's have Mazrui also go for that question, because he has got the ladies team. But that was a really comprehensive answer, Irfan. Love it. Dumbi, you go for it. Abdi also got a team as well. So I think everybody can just chime in. We will do extra 5 minutes in there. So Dumbi, go for it.
Okay, thank you. I believe the same way the way Ifrana said, but going to his question, the main thing is not how people will come, because if you got good structures, definitely people will come. The players that you have are the ones who are going to sell the same to the other players. So they will come in plenty. If good structures, they will definitely come, even using word to word. Not even need advertisement, because personally I get excess. But now the best thing is, how do you sustain the team? Because you may have a balloon effect whereby you have 60 and your capacity is for 20. Now that is where the main thing, your structures and how to ensure that you are able to sustain the discipline and everything. That is now the biggest problem. So, but in terms of them coming, they will come in plenty. But now what are you looking for? You're looking for the determination, the discipline, the time that the player is coming, and how they are determined to do. I don't expect you to score goals, but I want you to be on time and doing the skills the way I want you to do. Then you'll have all the players that you want, and they'll be able to see that this player was here, now she's playing for a bigger club. She was here, now she's gone for this. So that one is already an advertisement, and it will always work for you. But the biggest question is, how do you put the structures to sustain? Thank you. Back to you, Mondi.
Good one. Yes, having the members but maintaining the structures is something that we really need to look at. Good one. Abdi Hafid, bring us home on this one. What will your answer look like on that particular question?
I think Irfan and Ndumbi has given a very good answer. To add on what they've said, I think I don't wish to repeat whatever they've said, because of that was a good suggestion. Number one, first of all, I think social media is a very powerful tool, especially TikTok. Nowadays, wherever you are, you can easily record your team's playing, your team's training. I've seen a very good academy in, I think, I don't know whether they are located in Nairobi or Nakuru, whereby now they produce very good young stars. And I've seen even they end up going to Europe, whereby now they play tournaments there. Number one, first of all, use social media, because it's a very, very powerful tool, especially TikTok and also X, formerly Twitter. Secondly, produce, whenever you get an opportunity, you see a very hardworking, talented player, give them an opportunity to go on a trial. You take them to Kasarani, you take them to this Kenya Premier League team, you talk to the coaches and say, I have an amazing player here. You take, can you try maybe give him a trial of 1 week, or maybe 2 days or 3 days, where if you like him, you can take him over. The same case where the larger problem or the larger challenge in Kenya we have, you have an academy, but the academy owners do not take the challenge of taking their players for trials. Most when you go to West Africa, for example, like there was one of the best midfielder called N'Golo Kante. I think you all know him. He has been a generational talent. I think the person who invested in him took 2 years to find him a major league. He has been struggling with him, but ended up becoming one of the best midfielder and even a generational midfielder in the world. So I will advise you on those 2 issues. Number one, you must be very good in social media. Make sure whatever you do, whatever training you are doing to your players, whatever game you are playing, record it. Then secondly, give your players a chance, especially those who are dedicated, those who are ready to work, those who have talents and everything. You give them a chance to go on a trial to a particular player. Don't say that this player, if he goes, maybe the team will going to be weak or anything, but just give them a chance to go on a trial. I think that is my suggestion.
Millicent, I think it is back to you again. But thanks so much, guys, for those wonderful insights.
Okay, thank you. I will start with Ndubi. Can you give us your closing statement, as well as like using sports to achieve the SDG you are supporting?
Okay, thank you so much. On my closing remarks, I will say that I want also to thank you, to appreciate for this platform where we can be able to ventilate and also share to the whole world or and the country at large on what you are going through and what you are doing. Because coming up with a female soccer team, you try and share, it's not an easy thing. I must have faced a lot of challenges, but the benefits that have come with it they outweigh the challenges, because I've been able to expose so many number of girls and also given them the capacity, the highest self-esteem to be able to pursue their education and to be able to even dream bigger than how they used to think. Now they can think beyond the country. They can think, because I'm sure in the next 2-3 years, I'll be seeing my girls in the national platform and even international. So it is a good thing. And that will be promoting the SDG, quality education and relevant education, because we are not teaching every learner to be engineer. Some of them, we are training them also to be people of talents, and they can be able to do that and sustain themselves. So it is more of a development. So thank you so much for that platform. And I will also want to share with those people who are not now in Northeastern, like in Nairobi and places that are exposed. In Northeastern, unfortunately, we don't have industries, we don't have big farms that can be able to do this. They can be able to do the CSR. The only things we have banks, which are branches from the main bank. So before you get a CSR, there is a lot of bottlenecks and challenges. So if we can be able to come up with something that can come to tap the talents that are here, it will be very good, because no one chose to be born in Wajir, but it is through how they were born. So they have to also get equal rights, equal opportunities to pursue the same. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much. Abdi Hafid, you can give us your closing remarks as well. Okay, with that issue, Ivan, you can also give us your closing remarks.
Yes, thank you, Millicent. I think it's all about resilience. I think we need to be resilient. Kenyans generally, we are a resilient lot. We've come through a lot, and putting us back on the map, right? We need one winner from a village, from a community, to spur growth at that level. So I think let's just make sure that we give it our best. Obviously, you've got your highs and your lows, and it's at the time when you are at your lowest that you feel, that urge to just give up. I think let's just fight towards a better future for everybody, wherever we can, in every little possible way. Sports is just one of the ways, and I think the sky is the limit for every kid out there who's got even a little bit of interest in sport. Let's try and, wherever we can, at our socials, at our workplaces, at school, at our religious gatherings, wherever we can, to promote sport, extracurricular activities. Let's just give it our best. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Abdi Hafid, if you are back, you can give us your closing remarks.
Yeah, sorry, I had some problem. Thank you, first of all. I really appreciate your organization for giving us this kind of a platform where we can express our idea and also our suggestions. It is very rare to find any organization to give anybody such kind of a platform. And I really appreciate Peter for maybe mobilizing and coming up with such a very good program. And God willingly, we will going to achieve everything together. And sooner or later, I am 100% sure we will going to have a very big impact on Kenya and even Africa and even in general, the whole world, a very big impact on them. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I will take this opportunity and welcome Peter.
I think I've been welcomed more times, Millicent, today, but I think the day coming to the end of it, you guys must have nailed all this stuff. And I think it is very exciting and the insights you've brought. The whole point was, let us get the conversation started. Let us now get members now to start thinking, how can we actually collaborate together and work as a team to probably continue the conversation we've started in here. Irfan, you've met Abdi Hafid, and you've met Ndumbi, and Isaac actually joined really, really late. Now, how do we get that conversation going? And how do we pass that message? Meaning now we can collaborate, we can partner, and we can keep that conversation going. So from our desk and the team at Global Youth Forum, some of them are somewhere across the globe. And I know we champion football for the goals. I know you guys, if you have academies, you guys can register to be members for the football for the goals. And I know we got a tournament coming up. You guys need to sign up for that. And then annually, we are aiming to host annual tournament. In fact, I was just arguing, like, I met you several years ago. So when I saw you are coming on and coming to share your mentorship and coaching stuff, I'm like, now I have somebody who we can always work with to do all these things together. So for me, I think this is a good start for collaboration and for us to just get the momentum going and keep going. So I know we are on a group, so let us keep that momentum going and let us see how best we can champion what we've started over here going forward. So from my desk and from other members' desks, I say thank you all for creating time on a Sunday to come and join us. Godwin, we haven't answered your question, but I know this conversation can go on, but I know now we've been starting and now we are going to build on. So we say thank you, and I hope to see you guys very soon. So thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.